Welcome back. This is TolaTV.com. We are lucky enough to be here in Stockton today with Mayor Whitney and Lela Anderson talking about the 150th anniversary celebration.
Stockton was a thriving town. I mean, there were hundreds of people that were here. The miners lived here, some of them with their families and some without. We have histories that go back a long way. One of the pictures that caught my eye when I was looking at it was one where miners are digging some other miners out of a snowbank that had been buried in a snowbank. And that's just some of the history that we have here on display. We've also tried with this celebration to go back and do things the way they did many years ago. So at this time, I need to tell you about our Stockton royalty.
Oh, yeah.
We are so excited. We have such beautiful young ladies here, but what we are doing is we have a picture of each young lady. And we have two categories. We have our 5 through 11 and our 12 through 18. And the girls submitted a picture, and we have their pictures on jars. And what we are going to do is they vote by putting money in the jars. So the young lady that gets the most money will be the queen in each category. So we're really excited about that. And this is what they did. I understand they did this years ago. And so we're really, really excited about that. We're excited that people can come through and look at our census records that we've done. We go clear back to the 1800s on our census records. We had them all enlarged. They will be on display at our DUP, the Daughters of Utah Pioneers Museum that we have here in town, as will most of the pictures and things. So they'll always be there for people to come and look at, and we're just really excited about that.
So not only remembering some of the history, but reenacting a little bit of
Yes.
it, see the royalty. And
Yes.
This is the heavy question for Mayor Mark. The big question of why. So why is it important that we take time to stop and celebrate and shoot off fireworks and have royalty like they used to? Why is it important that we look back and read the newspaper articles and look at the photographs and know what the census said? Why is it important for us to look back at our history?
That is a tough question.
But you're mayor, and I know you can handle this one.
That's okay. I'll take that.
You got my vote.
I think it's very important that you understand the town's heritage. You understand who we are, who we were, how the town developed itself, and also who we may want to be as we grow, if we grow, and what it took to be a part of your town. And that's any town. I think there's huge history here in Utah and everywhere, and it goes way back. And for us to take time, take a breath, and look at and stop and celebrate who came before us, I think that's important for us. I think it's important for everyone here. And we're hoping that the kids that come to the events, as they get older and they move away or they stay or they come back, that they too want to then enrich and do the same thing and hold tight the history and what was, you can look at a hill here and go, well, what was that? Who, what was there prior for all the miners and the residents? Yeah. So it's just, it's a warmth.
Yeah, you're right.
Bring the community together, all at once, all on the same ground, and say, hey, this is our town.
Interesting. That's something that I hadn't thought about in terms of community celebrations like this. This is something, because our lives are also different, our individual lives. But then when we get together, this is something everybody shares.
Absolutely.
And so you're right. It is a unifying activity, and it brings us individual strength.
Well, I'm excited to be able to be a part of it, and we're all going to now be part of that history, and I think that's a good thing. It makes you feel good.
So she's been working on this project for 3 years and leading this committee who has spent hundreds of hours putting all of this together. What have you learned? What have you learned from this experience?
My committee has been fantastic. They have done so much, and they've worked so hard. And we're also trying to get together pictures. And what we're trying to do is we're going to the houses that are older homes that have been here for generations. A lot of them have been rebuilt or had siding or things put on, but what we're trying to do is go through and list all of the homes, take pictures of the homes that were here, say, 100 years ago. And I hope you'll all take a moment and drive down and see the Stockton jail, because that is still standing. And we actually did use that jail. In fact, I just had a lady call me last night to tell me that she remembers the last time they used the jail was like 1962, because she remembers the man they put in there was a drunk man, and he moaned and groaned all night. And she said that's the last time she remembers them using the jail. But our jail is still standing, and it's nice to go.
From 1902, I think I saw from the picture.
I believe so.
So.
But it was such a big metropolis, actually. And when you stop and think of all the first that Stockton had, the first lights, the first telephone, and all of that was brought about by the miners. I mean, I don't think that Utah would be what Utah is without the miners that came and started it.
Interesting. And so when you say first to have electricity, first to have a telephone, are we talking first in Utah, first in the West? Do you know?
It was Utah. We actually have the placement of the generator that generated the electricity for the first lights for the miners. Wow. And so, yeah, from what we could find, it was first in Utah.
We have found in some of our archives and some of our paperwork, we found old voting records, and we've tried to preserve those. And so, and my committee has done a fantastic job, absolutely wonderful job. I don't think we realized how many hours it was going to involve, but it's been fantastic.
Tireless.
Yes.
They have done a fantastic job, and they should be commended for it. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Let's say the committee members' names here. So
I would love to. I would love to. The committee has consisted of course, Mark Whitney, the mayor, Jack and Kay Helene, Pauline Hawk, Mary Edwards, Rulin Oftemort, and Dora Lee Speakman has been very gracious to provide our history on the cemetery. She has done a lot of research on that and has put a book together. She spent many years doing that. So we're excited about that, too, that we'll have a history of the cemetery.
Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you.
This is a great day in Stockton, and good day just for Utah in general, that we have all of this work compiled, and now we can celebrate. Thank you. This is Twila TV.